So why did you and 100 other French female writers, performers and academics feel the need to sign this letter? What was it?
Well, first of all, I'd like to say that, the beginning of the letter says rape is a crime, sexual harassment is a crime. We are not condoning any of this. We are not accusing anything like the reporting on Harvey Weinstein and the incredible, piece of journalism that first unveiled the testimony of 13 women whose careers had been broken by somebody like Harvey Weinstein, by Ronan Farrow in the New Yorker magazine. So we're not saying this was wrong. What we are saying is what followed basically were Me Too in more ways than one. And we are risking a kind of sort of social media lynching of everything at the same time. People who are genuinely guilty of something that is actionable by law, and people who were trying to navigate, possibly clumsily, the shoals of men and women relationships.
Some people would say
that they should not be lumped
that
together.
That outpouring that you speak about of women online all putting the hashtag #MeToo was only went to show how huge this problem was, actually, and it was the first time that women had a voice. Can you not see the benefit of that in any way?
I don't feel, first of all, I do not think that women did not have a voice before. Many women had a voice. Actually, one of the signatories of our letter was gang raped. I think it's, and I myself was, because I'm a political journalist, I was quite active in saying what lots of politicians got away to at the time of the Dominique Strauss-Kahn scandal. But what we're saying is that this has become a kind of 1 minute hate, or rather, I don't know how many minutes you have on social media, but that has really changed. And now the whole thing is where, the Swedish government is saying that there should be written consent if you want to initiate a relationship with someone, and that way lies madness. And also, the idea that women are weak and feeble and we're shrinking violence and we need to be protected. One of the writers of the letter is Iranian. She says, I've seen the mullahs do the same thing. We need to be protected because we can't fight for ourselves. Do some advances that men try. Men will try it on, and sometimes women will give signals that they want it to be tried on, and other times it will be clumsy or unpleasant or, stupid. And yes, I can tell by myself, look, please do not do this again. And if you're not my boss, I think that's where it should stop. I don't think you should be sort of vilified on social media. I don't think you should lose your job. I don't think suddenly you should be left out to hang and dry. And, all of this was started in America, and America is a country that achieved many things by being very sort of binary, very black and white, very 0 and 2, and they make wonderful computers with 0 and 1, and they make wonderful computers, but at the same time, human relationships are a complicated skein of trial and error and understanding. And
however, there is still a right and wrong when it comes to relationships.
And you should know it too.
Let's just bring in Debbie Arnold here, because Debbie has said that in the past Michael Winner made inappropriate sexual advances to you in the 1980s. You've been on here, you've discussed it before. You've seen that letter. Your reaction?
Well, I mean, I don't know if it's because French translated to English makes it seem different, but there's an awful lot of it that I just don't agree with, saying that, if you're on the tube, for example, and somebody makes an inappropriate movement towards you, just because we've asked for equality in pay, we shouldn't say anything about it. I mean, how ridiculous is that? That's part of the letter. That is part of the letter.
Well, you shouldn't say if that happened on the tube, you would say to the man involved, "Excuse me, would you please stop immediately," rather than go on social media, take a picture of him, do the Me Too.
Of course, you would just say stop. It's all about what's acceptable to the other person. If I come over to you and touch your knee, and if it's acceptable to you, that's fine. If it's not, and you say stop, I think that's absolutely fine. If you carry on, it's what's acceptable to the other person. It's logic. But saying that these women, it started in America and it's all right, it's not all right.
Doesn't it affect, though, and as Anne-Elisabeth was saying there, that it then affects the ability for the normal chat-up process, because
Phillip,
guys are actually terrified. They think, my God, if I put a foot wrong here, I'm in trouble.
I don't think so. Do you?
For me, it's quite clear. I think because if you're a normal human being, you know exactly what's appropriate and what's not appropriate. But I think what we're talking about and what this does protect is those very, very vulnerable ladies. If you're strong and great and you can handle yourself, perfect, then fine. This campaign's not for you, and that's fine. You can handle it. But for those many, many women that are vulnerable, I think it's a good thing. Do whatever it takes to help those women that have been able to get out there
Has
and
it
get
become
the
a
help.
witch hunt?
No, I don't think it has. I don't think it has. But on the other hand, I don't think it's fair that a lot of people are outed before they have a chance to defend themselves.
And I think you said to one of our researchers about Kevin Spacey that if he were to be found guilty, then he shouldn't have to hide in a corner or lose his livelihood. And this is all part of this witch hunt. Obviously, at the moment, it is only allegations. Some of those allegations are very, very serious, involving underage people. Surely, if that was to be proven, that if he was to be found guilty of those things, then he should. I mean, it would be illegal. It would be against the law.
Well, I first of all, I believe in the legal process, and he has not been proven guilty. And if I get this correctly, and I haven't sort of gone over his case as a lawyer, which I'm not, there was a party when he was 26, and he made advances, but they all remained closed at the party.
Allegedly
at the party.
Allegedly to a 14-year-old boy. But so because he was 26
yes,
and it was a
who
party.
was at
And there's
a
been lots of other
party
things
which
since. Lots of other
Allegedly.
things. Allegedly, lots of other things have
There
come
have
up
been
since.
there have been things that are said that to me are worse, because party in the 1980s where people were gay at a time when it was not so acceptable. This is something which there's a statute of
I'm not sure
limitations.
that's any sort of defence, actually.
Different. In the case of work, that is an entirely different thing. Sexual harassment in the workplace is forbidden. It should be protected. I'm all in favour. The minute somebody complains that their
as opposed
jobs
to sexual harassment
should be
in a bar.
protected, they could not. In a bar, there are many things you can do, and do the climate in the bar make it impossible for you to defend yourself? Wow. In which case, again, the law provides for that.
Okay.
Well, we have to
invent
leave
a
it there. Unfortunately, thank you very much indeed, Celebi.